Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. I hope you're feeling a surge of optimism right now. I have the most earth-shattering breaking news. Donald Pump has put a 90-day tariff pause for everyone in the world, I think, except China. So let me say it again. A 90-day pause for soy boys. We are going out there into a world where I told you to believe in something. Look how close. I told you to believe in cycle, friends. 0.34%. My gosh, we got to get the nipple pegs out. Man, friends, I've been telling you the whole time. Okay, and I don't feel good when this happens. I don't. You saw my reactions, right? I don't feel good. I'm like, man, it's meant to be a believer's cycle. It's meant to be a cycle where you hold and you're like, look, bro, I've got no idea how this is going to work itself out. I'm just holding. That's exactly what has happened. The weekly super trend is still green. Bitcoin recovering emphatically up here. Let's check out the monthly candle. The monthly candle, it's red, but I've got a feeling it's going to flip green by the end of April. Bitcoin sitting at 82,000 American dollars. Let's play some Pumpy G music. We gotta flip this. We gotta flip this screen, bro. That's not a bull market, but yeah. However, everyone's feeling good, friends. We've got a lot of things to cover as well. So, Ethereum, friends. Ethereum, it's 1,650. Hopefully, it gets above 1,800. Remember, it came back. There was a CME a gap here, literally at 1420. It came back and it freaking closed the gap. My gosh, that was the USDC depegging weekend. So it actually came back to close the gap. The next gap, though, is around 1,700. So I'll actually show you that right now. Which is just, I didn't want to bring it up. I'm like, weird. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I thought Ethereum is not as important, but it is what it is. So we have a gap now here at 1,750. But I mean, who cares about that gap, man? Like, the number's so low. Why is there a 1 in front of you, dude? You were cheap at 3,000. You were still too cheap. By the way, I actually just noticed there is a huge gap here, friends. There's a huge CME gap at right here, 3,200. Also for Ethereum, just to let you know, friends, you know the price, $3,000? There's something ridiculous like $1.8 billion of shorts sitting there. In fact, it's probably bigger now. Okay, there's a lot of shorts sitting up here if it ends up going back up there. But we'll see how that all goes and plays out. Remember, friends, I hope you're appreciating the highest value content in crypto, friends. I've got some naughty things to show you. I mean, like, here's the VIX, friends. Remember, the VIX was at 60, and I was showing everyone, man, the VIX is at 60. Like, these have to be classic bottom signals. And, friends, if you can go check out my thumbnails, friends, my thumbnails, I hope you are appreciating the sea of positivity. Friendship, pump soon, victory, which is the emergency Bank of Japan, right? I was bullish video, win, okay? Do you see that? Pump us, cope up. I hope you're appreciating that. Oh, 4,800 videos now. Wow, what a freak of nature this guy. So I know you are appreciating it because I'm going to show you some other dirty thumbnails. Just go out, friends. It's so funny, just this. It's embarrassing, man. I don't care if I'm bullish and the price goes down, bro. I'm here for long term, okay? I don't give a shit what you think, okay? But it is embarrassing for all those people. Go back and check your Twitter, your YouTube feed right now. You'll see everyone's videos, which were uploaded like 6 hours ago, 8 hours ago. They're like, it's all going down. You're all going home. And home is zero. That's exactly what he's seeing everywhere. Down, recession, down. Yeah, could be right. You could be right. Remember, friends, like that's why it was tough, man. You know, Uncle Bobby sold a third of his portfolio. Yeah, he sold a third. And friends, I told you, man, like, I love Uncle Bobby. I was like, Uncle Bobby, but Habibi, I feel like you're a bit anti-Trump, and I feel like there's a bit of bias in there, and that's okay. Bias creeps into us everywhere, friends. You know, for example, if I had to choose between orange juice and banana juice, I'm picking the orange juice every time. I'm being honest. Okay, so the bias creeps in. They go, this is bad structurally. Taxes, tariffs. Is it 3 R's or 7 R's? I don't know. Don't know how to spell it. You know what I mean? It was just now, friends, literally 24 hours later, bull market's back on, baby. I'm going to show you what's actually been leading everything right now. So before we cover all that news, the prices move first, friends. So all those prices and those news, they're secondary. Yeah, you look at the price action. That's actually what that's pretty much the most important thing out here. Wow, what a whopper of a weekly candle for the S&P 500. Talk about you got G'd out 14%, man. My gosh, that's wild. Look at that. We are back here. I feel like it's where we're meant to be. Let's actually put it down on the daily chart. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Wow, man. I didn't even know the stock market could do that. That's its yearly gains in a... By the way, the NASDAQ, friends, went up 10% in an hour. Bro, that's crypto stuff, right? We go down 10% an hour. Every hour. That's wild, man. Just appreciating that. So now everyone's gone obviously shifting the narrative. Friends, now, by the way, so it's a Trump, it's a delay of 90 days. We're going to go through about, and then like, okay, what happens after 90 days? Well, we'll figure it out back then. Also looking at the others BTC charts, still low, still poop. Yes, we need Ethereum, friends. Like we always know. Ethereum, why are you 1600, bro? You should be, I meant to say Ethereum, you're meant to be 2600 instead of 1600, but no, you're meant to be more like 4600, right? That's how behind it is. Also interesting, man, the others ETH ratio, it's above 1 now. It's above 1. It's coming up here. So because Ethereum's cursed, I wonder if that thing's just going to keep rallying for this cycle, and it might hit like 1.5 or 2, which will be interesting. Remember, Ethereum in its third cycle curse. A lot of people ask me, what's going to happen with Ethereum in this whole cycle? Friends, I've been bullish the whole time, so you don't ask me. But look, all I can tell you is, I'll show it to you now, okay? If you go and look at XRP BTC ratio, this is the XRP BTC ratio. Look what it did. I'm just going to look at the scheme it did in 2020. So in 2020, friends, this is where it was pretty much starting the bull market. It got scammed by the SEC here. And then what actually ended up happening is it came back in our bull market, but it just retraced the whole move. So it just recovered the whole move. And look, it basically came back to like its Bitcoin halving year highs. Okay, pretty much came back. So you actually look at it. Yeah, it came back to where it was in like, July 2019, Bitcoin halving year. So what I'm basically getting at is, I'm just going to assume because XRP was in its third cycle curse, it did a move where it went down and all you could get was a recovery. That's why it was a scam. So you didn't make money. It just went down even lower. And then everyone who buys that blood, they get back a bit of money, but it's not even worth it because you're buying a cursed thing, right? So that's why I'm just guessing what will happen for Ethereum in this cycle is, you see where we were see our Bitcoin halving year? It's 0.055. That's the ratio here. That's why I think that's all we get this cycle. Back to 0.055, which means if Bitcoin is, dare I say, 250K, Ethereum is 13K. But I'm still scared of that number. What if Bitcoin stops at 200 and then Ethereum flashes up? So the timing of them could be different, right? Like maybe Bitcoin goes from 200 to like 280, but Ethereum's not moving. Then if Bitcoin comes down, then Ethereum goes up. So it does that. But let's just say 10K, which is also numbers a bit sucky because like I feel like I'm allowed to speculate, right? I feel like Richard Hart, Pulse Chain founder, probably had higher odds for it to hit like 17K many years ago, like I did as well. We all did. But now it's more like, you know what, maybe you're only going to get 10K, which could explain the biblical apocalyptic shakeout that we needed, I guess, to do to get a lot of the supply of weak hand PDI into strong hands, which may be him, etc., and the rest of us as well. So they're just my theory out here. Now let's crack on for news and stuff out here, friends. So President Trump authorized a 90-day pause on the tariffs while leaving China on blast. I'm going to show it to you now. He's actually got it right here. Based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, I am hereby raising the tariff charged to China by the USA to 125% effective immediately. At some point in the near future, China will realize the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called reps of the US of A, including the Departments of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, and that these countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the USA, I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%. Also, effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, well, it's funny. Everyone says, there is no chess. There is no chess. Well, it kind of looks like it was chess now. You kind of got embarrassed. So, what he's basically done is put the tariffs on everyone. People came to the table. Whoever comes to the table and they want to make a deal, he's like, okay, cool, you're our friends. You want to make a deal straight away? Sweet. We like you. Who didn't come to the table? China. So China did embarrass themselves pretty much. They don't want to work with anyone that comes to that because they want to look strong and stuff out here. So 3 hours before he made that tweet, he goes, this is a great time to buy Donald J. Trump, which is funny. And then like, again, it was, bro. He was literally, check that out, man. Man, you don't want to, look, that's why, friends, in crypto, I know, man, we got stories and coins and Bitcoin and Pulse Chain and everything. Like, man, Donald Pump, he said he's going to pump us. You know what I mean? Like, you got, like, look what he did to the stock market, right? I know he sent it down first and he got a recovery, but there is a plan, okay? It hasn't made new highs yet, but, it's not just, oh, deranged lunatic, I'm taking this whole country to zero. Shout out to SommiFanToken as well, friends. For some reason, I just love this picture, just confirming friendship with Matt over here. Me and Matt hanging out. I'm going to show you more stuff out here. I know everyone's like, we're all consumed by that macro. But by the way, we all knew, man, like, it's April 2025, bro. Like, if you have any DCA money, you should be throwing into crypto. You should buy whatever you want. But we already know that, man. Like, we're overdue like a year and a half of a Bitcoin dominance drop. It's been a year and a half, man. More like 14 months. But yeah, so it's been a long time. Way overdue. So we all know that. But yeah, if we are getting DCA money, obviously, I would keep buying the dip. I would keep buying. Man, I was literally, you were here yesterday and the day before. I was the only guy saying buy the dip. Literally the only guy. Okay? I was literally the only crypto dude saying buy the dip. I don't think it's going down, bro. It's a human-made error. You heard me, friends. All my talking points. I go, look, man, I made these videos in 2023 to prepare us. I say, look, when there's a human-made error, the market always figures itself out. Every single time. It does. When it's one of those cascading man-made stuff, that's when everyone's like, crap, no man is in control. And I'm like, hey, there is someone in control. You just can't see him out here. But, it takes time for the market to figure that part out. I want to show you some videos and stuff out here, friends. So this was interesting. So my murdering partner in crime, Kevin O'Leary, okay, he made this comment just to show you, just give you some context on China and to what's going on. So there's probably going to be some regime changes. Let's just have a play together in a very family-friendly way.
104% tariffs in China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, and sell it back here. Never has an administration.
400% tariffs? What would that look like?
I want Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on Earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on Earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well, hold on a second. Well, I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe. Can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the goods?
Short.
Look at, by the way, look at this, friends. Look at, this was, obviously, this is before he did the delay, yeah? Before the pump. Look what they say. Trump defiant. Markets plunge. I know what the hell I'm doing. Like, they're trying to make him look like an idiot. So, CNN, Cuck News Network, you look like the idiots now. Like, just, you guys look like the retardios here. Because literally, an hour later, oh, markets bounce. We're going to suck each other up. So, yeah, that's what it is. It's political stuff out here. It is true, friends. Like, on one hand, I was like, China stealing. But on the other hand, bro, look at it like you're a sports team and you're second place and you're trying to get every edge to get up first. Right? Look at it like that. It's just because, here's the thing, friends, yeah. See, if you look at them like football teams, you're like, oh, yeah, of course they try to do that. Yeah. Or you look at them like Neil Armstrong or whatever, the cyclist, you know, I've got that beast cyclist, right? Yeah, it was on the gear, but they still did amazing stuff, right? If you look at it like that, you're like, okay, that's happening. Yeah, but because it's old men with suits and they have guns, and because you're dealing with nations' flags, you're like, hey, it's not a team, bro. I was born here. Yes, it's a team. Get over it, okay? You didn't choose to be born in that part of the land, that part of the earth, and these are the colors out here, right? You're red flag with yellow stars, and you're over here, you're blue and white. Okay, get over it, right? So once you start looking at it from that perspective, it's just like crypto coins. It's like, I got the better shit coin, baby. I'm gonna pump harder. When you start looking like that, it's more funny and comical. But because it's people that this is serious, these are livelihoods. That's why it sounds like that out here. Let's have a look at Trump, friends. Trump makes commentary after his announcement as well.
Because we have a big job to do. No other president would have done what I did. No other president. I know the presidents. They wouldn't have done it. And it had to be done. What was happening to us on trade, not only with, you know, if you look at it, not only with China, but China was by far the biggest abuser in history, and others also, but somebody had to do it. They had to stop because it was not sustainable. Last year, China made $1 trillion off trade with the United States. That's not right. And now I've reversed it. It's for a short period of time, but we made $2 billion. We're making now $2 billion a day. And somebody had to do it. Roger actually said it. Charles Schwab was here a little while ago, one of the great financial people, and he said he's been waiting for 40 years for somebody to do what I did over the last month. And if you didn't do it, you wouldn't have a country. It wouldn't be sustainable. So I'm honored to have done it. And, you know, look, nothing's over yet, but we have a tremendous amount of spirit from other countries, including China.
So that must have been just before the thing was done. But yeah, I guess that's what it is, friends. Like China's coming to the table. But it's just kind of funny, man. Look, I'm just going to be honest, okay? China's government and the people there trying to tell America, this is just funny from an outsider's perspective, like saying, you need us more than you. Bro, they don't need shit. Oh, I need to buy my Nike shoes from you. They don't need anything from you, bro. You need them. Do you understand? Your economy needs them. You've got the starving people. They don't. Okay? They can go make something else. There's a lot of item substitutes. Yeah? You have to sell to them. You need them to keep buying. You need the demand. Friends, we know this in crypto. What's more important, demand or supply? Demand, of course. The psychological demand, yeah? Take away the demand, doesn't mean shit, yeah? And demand is more like fickle, right? Because we don't actually need anything, do we? We just need the roof over your head, clothes on your back, and you need orange juice, right? And some fluffy slippers and a squeaky chair, of course. And a pointy elbow, but you can't put a price on that. You have to train and sharpen your pointy elbows. You see, so you don't really need much in this world. So, I need a brown Nike shoe, and now a pink Nike shoe, and now an orange Nike shoe. Like, okay, bro. We can make other shoes in other places, okay? We can just put tissue boxes on your feet or something, you know? So, it's just funny how they try and spin it, but it's obviously China. They're probably sitting there going, no way, Trump's going to back off. They've lost trillions of dollars in market cap in the stock market. He goes, I don't care, bro. See us. I don't care. Because why? Do you want to know why the truth? Why he doesn't care? Why he didn't care at that time? Friends, in America, because they are the US dollar, you are the world reserve currency. There's only one. you have 83% of world trading volume. Everybody has an artificial bid for your currency, which means the worst things get, you can actually print because they're holding and they can't sell. Okay? That's why you're able to do it. They could basically, your world reserve currency, you just make everyone your bitch. Hey, you have to hold my currency. I get to print away your purchasing power and then save my stock market if I need to. That's the US Fed. Right? So that, China can't do that. Yeah, because if China prints, what happens? Friends, are you holding the yuan? Do you want to hold the yuan for 10 years? Do you want to put your money in a Chinese bank? No. You see, do you think $1 billion firm wants to? No. No one's holding them. No one needs to hold them. You see? So that's ultimately the game at play here. So you're seeing the power of world reserve currency. You can't do this unless you are world reserve currency. Otherwise, everyone's like, oh, you're printing? See us, dumping your bonds. Okay, so that's what they call this political chess thing out here, and then everyone else will caught in the headwinds. So Trump says, pass the tax cut bill now. Our country will boom. He actually made some tweets out here, which is just telling everyone. So look at this. It is imperative the Republicans in the House pass the tax cut bill now. Our country will boom. Republicans, it's more and more than now. We pass the one big, beautiful bill. The USA will soar like never before. Buy in May and go away, I've written. Pumps start after April. Tax cuts and debt rollover begins soon. I think now it's interesting time to go back and look at the global M2 liquidity, the fractal cope, friends. So remember, there was a naughty 75-day one. Let's just have a look at it here. Like, it's a bit too naughty for us, friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit too, we're hoping we pump in April, but what we said was, let's be conservative. Let's just put the 100-day one for matching. So 100-day, there you go. So that was it. And now we finish off April somewhere. Maybe the stock market's got to have jitters. Like, oh, wait, there's a delay. How much is it? Are they going to negotiate back and forth? They take a week or two or three, and then it's buy in May and go away. Obviously, I've started that meme, because it's normally every year is selling May and go away. And yes, May is an absolute turd month for crypto every single year. But this godforsaken trash crypto cycle wants to be opposite day for us every day. Opposite day, opposite year, opposite cycle, opposite existence. Okay, April's meant to be amazing and May's meant to be dog shit. We've inverted it now, all right? Now April's going to be poop, as it is. It's already been poop. This scare, you didn't have this stuff in other April's, friends, other April months. It's just literally plus 50% Bitcoin type of slasher moves. We didn't get anything like that. President Pumps, executive director of digital assets, says we are ushering in a golden age of crypto. So look, man, this is just irrationality, right? So you know, when the market was down there, when the stocks were like on their knees. Yeah, and crypto's on the knees. Everyone's saying, he told you what he was going to do. He told you he was going to do all of it. Shouldn't be a surprise. He told you he was going to crash all of it, you know? So, and then I'm like, I was holding it in. I'm like, argh, argh. I want to stab him with my lollipop. I was holding in. What was I holding in? I was holding in the fact I really want to stab him with that lollipop, friends, because they are not saying that to the bullish upside. Yeah, they're saying, oh, he said he was going to do that. Yeah, but how come you never say, hey, he said he's going to give a golden age of crypto. We should be buying the dip. Why don't you ever say that part? Why is it always the down part? Why, oh, the world's always ending part? Oh, everyone's going to be poor. Everyone's going to lose. Recession. Why is it always that? It's the fear. I know it's the fear. I know the questions. They are rhetorical questions, okay? It's the fear that your soy milk has run out from the fridge and that you have to go, God forbid, walk a couple of blocks to the service station to go get more soy milk because you can't go a day without it. Treasury Secretary Besant says this was President Trump's strategy all along, to go to China into a bad position. So everyone who comes to the deal, friends, this is just, honestly, it's a bit weird, spooky, weird. Crazy, man. I literally spent all day yesterday saying, look, man, friends, I literally, it's on record still. I said, like, I think every country's going to capitulate and China's like just going to be standing by themselves. Like, hey, want to be friends? Want to be friends now? Can we play together, please? Hey, want to trade some Pokemon? Yes, Matt, we'll play some Pokemon. By the way, just to remind you, yes, friends, me and Matt, we're very aware every time we meet up, there's a big market crypto crash. And yes, we did meet up end of Feb. All right. So, Matt, we can't meet up in April. Maybe we'll do it June or July after we're higher. Maybe Bitcoin 120K. I'll let you know. I don't want to jinx it, but I'll just, or maybe if I let you know, it'll counter the curve. I don't know. Friends, I'll tell you, man, when I was younger, friends, not superstitious at all. Okay. Now I'm like, nah. There's too many weird stuff happening. It's also funny. One of the best traders I ever knew, okay, actually taught me a bit. One of the best traders I ever knew. He was really superstitious. Real superstitious. I had no idea why at the start. Now I know why. He always used to be like, whenever there's like a... Yeah, he always used to be superstitious. He's like, oh, when it's raining on the Monday, yeah, and like the S&P 500 had a down Friday, there was like an 80% chance that it was going to be like a blowout in one of the spreads or something. We just knew esoteric stuff like that. And I just made that one up. I just giving you an example. It was like superstitious. Now I see why. When I was young, I had no idea. I'm like, hey, but science and coin flipping. No. You'll see. Crypto czar David Big Nutsacks says they were rooting for Trump to fail, even if it meant the market and the economy crashed. Fortunately, their hopes have been dashed. Trump has been vindicated. So, I guess that's the game now. China over there in the corner. Yeah, it is kind of funny how it's all working out. Man, crypto's got a long way to go, bro. Like, what are you doing down here? But how did Ethereum do a 7-year round trip on US dollar gains? 8 years on ETH BTC, bro. Friends, in 2016 March, that's where we went back to the ETH BTC price. Let's just show you right here. Right here. Bro, what are you doing coming back here, friends? Friends, they had no MakerDAO, no DeFi, no NFTs, no Uniswap, nothing. Literally nothing. No layer 2, nothing, bro. No spot ETF. Why are you back down here? Soy. It's always the soy. One day we'll have our revenge. Goldman Nutsacks. So Goldman Slugs, actually, friends, not Nutsacks. Goldman Slugs rescinds recession prediction after Trump's tariff pause. I did not know, bro. What you're telling me? Trump's got tariffs, recession. Trump does it. Okay, it's not on. Oh well. President Pump says China wants to make a deal, and they're in the process of figuring it out. So covering all that beautiful news out here for you, friends, as well. So I've got some macro chart. Remember, this is that global liquidity. And this is Bitcoin, right-hand side. So I think this is like it's a 12-week lead. So 12 times 7, it's an 85-day one. So that's, yeah. Remember, I did the 100-day just to be conservative. Let's just write off all of April, right? Month of April. That's 100-day. The 75-day was a bit too whatever. We're playing around. We're honestly just playing with a sandpit right now. Now, man, if you just check out, I have to do this. I have to do this. If you go check out different thumbnails and YouTube videos, I watched a lot, man. I watched a lot. And, I'll be honest, maybe I was a bottom signal. There were like, at the bottom, I saw like, it was the same people, like there's Gerard and Copen and my brain, I didn't even watch them. I couldn't. Because my brain knew you're going to be turbo bearish. I don't want to hear it. Okay. I might have been that bottom signal at that moment. I'm like, man, I couldn't even watch a video because I knew they were going to be turbo bearish. And I'm too scared because I would be watching stuff and they'll be like, you don't want to watch this. I was scared. That's the first thing they'd say was, you don't want to watch this video because you're bag bias long, because you're not reading the charts properly, because we're going to go down and you're too scared. I was just fearful of that. Turns out they were wrong. Turns out they were all wrong, friends. Every single one of them said lower. Every single one. Not a single person was bullish. Not a single person said buy the dip. Not a single damn person at all. Okay. I was here telling you, look, bro, ISM is still below 52 for 29 months. We've been scammed. We haven't even had a bull market. I was telling you buy the dip. I was telling you, yeah, it sucks. It's crushed. I was hoping we'd go up higher, but I'm not going to back down now because the thing keeps going down. You can suck me off in a very family-friendly way if you're going to think like that. I was telling you, suck a fat one. I was telling you all the way down here, suck a fat one. I don't care. All right? I don't care. I know we're cheap. All right? I don't give a damn. All right? I know we're cheap. I'm going to assume we're going to go higher. You want your free money buy at 50K BTC. And I'm like, bro, do you know what the weekly super trend means? That means, bro, if Bitcoin got to like that 65K, you don't want it. Okay? That's what it means. You don't actually want it there. You want it there for a shitty little plus 25% trade. You want to be DCA buying for another 12 months after that. That's what the odds pretty much say if Bitcoin flips and confirms red on the weekly super trend. Right? Unless the miracle candle happens straight away. But yeah, it is what it is. So all of them, friends, all of them. Now, you can all eat a dick. All of you now have to sit on Bitcoin doing a plus 10% move back to 82K zone. Now you're going to be saying, oh, but I've got to update my worldview now, and now you should go get back in. I know it's tough for everyone, friends. Friends, there are certain individuals, I'm not going to say their names, you know, and by the way, friends, I know from your perspective, whenever I always watch someone and like, say their name. No. Okay? You got to think big game, okay? I have access to mindshare units. I hand out mindshare like a currency, yeah? Because everyone's watching, right? So you hand out mindshare as a currency. So I'm not going to pay mindshare currency to soy boy scum, all right? I'm not going to reward soy boy scum when they're wallowing in their pity, tears. A lot of them, friends, a few of them actually did sell the low and bragged about it. They bragged like, I'm all out, done the most selling I've done, etc. I've heard about a lot of that stuff. A lot of soy boys, soy cabal individuals. You will not get mindshare currency units out here. So what I've actually done is during these periods of time, I've been handing mindshare currency units out to people who deserve it. Yeah? Be the change you want to see in the world. So I take a hit because I'm like, you know what? It's better they're talking about me anyway, I guess, if we want more expansion to the communities and stuff out here. But I'm like, no, like, that's like saying, well, like, hey, I want my country's mindshare to expand in the world. Let me go show everyone what a good idea is to burn the flag, right? So you can go get the hell out if you're going to do that, right? So I'll take it a different stance now. The stance is now friendship and kindness. I'm just going to show you some thumbnails as well, okay? So one of these thumbnails, one of these is not the same, okay? You can actually, let's check it out now. So you have panic mode. You have it's over. You have will we recover? Have we already hit the all-time high? And yeah, of course, bro, all of them. By the way, this is kind of funny. This is literally, friends, this interview was done. This was done, I think, 60 minutes before Trump did the tariff pause, right? However, it's all over. It's all over. And look, this is me, friends. But this is as everything was going down and getting worse. Pump soon. Crypto will be pumped. China and USA concludes with money printing every single time. So what I've noticed is the smart dudes, they're all smart, yeah? They're always like, oh, bad things are going to happen and then happen and then happen and then happen and then happen. I'm like, bro, can you please outline me in history where a bad thing has happened and they did not respond with money printing? Because I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. Outline me. Since in crypto's whole life and even before that, right? The money printing phenomena, friends, it's only a post-GFC thing. Just to let you know, excess money liquidity stuff. But before that was just interest rate stuff. But they do this whole simulation. So I hope you appreciate me basically keeping the lights on while everyone's running away. They're like, you better don't buy the dip because the dip will keep on dipping over and over and over again. So every single person, friends, every single person said it was game over. Now they are literally embarrassed, okay? Yeah, it shocked me in terms of like, firstly, how much soy they drink. And secondly, I'm like, I did not think it was going to be a tweet like that. It just sends everything nuts. Not a single person, none of them said to buy the dip, man. None of them. None of them. They go, oh, maybe. None of them, friends. You know what they do? They hedge themselves. They go, oh, maybe you could, or maybe, but you could be in the risk of the medium to short term, and the medium to short term risk, and maybe it's going to go a bit lower, and maybe if you, and they say, oh, they always use bullshit words. They're like, oh, from a 10-year long term perspective, considering a DCA with the intention to hold for 10 years would not be a bad, unwise, kind of half-smart decision, if you know what I mean. So it's just all word walloping. Bro, are we buying or are we not? Okay? Oh, you don't want to say it? You're a bitch. They proudly sold their portfolios and called for 65K Bitcoin and lower. You know what? We can still get it, by the way. We can still get it. But just watch how fast they turn around. We can still get anything can happen, bro. It's markets. And by the way, we have not seen the final boss yet. The final boss will be this. Wait until you see that huge alt season around the corner. Wait. Yes, I thought it'd be happening right now. Also, friends, look at this positivity in my thumbnails, bro. Friendship. Crypto. Let's confirm friendship with China. Crypto will be pumped. Look at this. Victory. Crypto will be the winner out of USA v China. Emergency. Breaking. Bank of Japan holds the meeting. Macro bonds exploding. So it's a bullish video. Win. You see? Crypto holds. Surviving macro. Crypto holds. They weren't saying that like, crash, crash, it's over, sell, sell. It's also interesting, whenever we go down, they say, I sold the top. I was selling the top, everybody. I sold the top. I have cash. I don't remember you saying that on the way up, bro. So they're playing a different game than me, friends. I'm playing the abundance mindset game where there's always an opportunity around the corner and it's not over, and that bull markets die on euphoria. They don't die on skepticism and FUD and soy latte drinking, lower back tattoo, butterfly shape tattoo losers. That's what I'm playing for, abundance mindset. They're playing in scarcity mindset. Ha ha ha, I sold, did you? Uh-oh. It's kind of like, friends, the Titanic is sinking. They've got a woman's wig. They're on one of the little boat canoe things with the women and children. They got a woman's wig and they're like, ha ha ha, I just got a spot on here. Oh, you didn't, bye-bye. That's what they're doing when they throw these words out. That's why I don't like them. I don't like them whatsoever. Of course, you have a beer with them and stuff out here. Maybe you have a drink, maybe some orange juice. Maybe it depends on how close you are to the relationship. But I don't like that attitude. I'm like, ha ha ha, I'm smarter than everybody. Yes, come subscribe to me. Come give me your thousands of dollars per year. Thank you very much. I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter. Oh, man, like, you know, when this thing turns around, bro, you guys are going to cop it. You are going to get an apocalyptic, biblical wash from me. An apocalyptic, biblical wash. Okay? When Vitalik stops drinking soy and this Bitcoin dominance goes back down, man, there's so many receipts. Do you know what the worst part is well for them? Everyone, because they've been yelling about it for so long, it's been like 2 years, everyone just knows them as like Bitcoin maxi altcoin bears. So even when, and they will change their mind later, they'll change their mind halfway and they'll just go silent, but no one's gonna pay attention to that. No one's gonna pay attention because then you realize they're just following the candle color. And they'll be like, no. You were telling everybody, buy Bitcoin, sell your altcoins at the like extremes of this range for 2 years, embarrassed, right? What are people paying you for? Like that's what's coming out here, friends. And like it's bulls and bears. It's bulls and bears, right? It'll be very interesting how this continues to play out, right? So what happens from here, friends? Actually, well, friends, I guess my nipple pegs have actually ushered in another $1,000 bounce from Bitcoin. Bitcoin's monthly candle is now $83,000. Wow. So it's not 82K. It actually did another little, wow, very, very nice pump. If I go back, let's just go back in a little bit of a shorter time frame here. That's nice to see. Oh, wow. Here we go. Up here. Very nice. See, back in the range. Now, look, I don't know what happens between now and May, but let's just assume it's gonna get Kobe to bull trap buy up here, and then something happens down here. Everyone thinks it's over again, and then maybe, okay? Let's just assume that type of squiggly line. Oh, by the way, you are free to assume that this happens, but I'm a believer. Are you? Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.